The next thing I want to explain is resolve tokens. So these little green guys are resolve tokens. Resolve tokens give you the ability to shape a story in a number of exciting ways. So you can use them to compel other characters to act, to create balls, to overturn carriages, basically have a narrative influence on the story. And so each of us have our own pool of resolve tokens. These are our personal pool. We can use these for whatever we wish. Each connection also has 2 tokens. Those tokens are tokens we can use to bring that connection into the game. Well, you need to use a resolve token when you create, contribute to, or change narrative events that are significant to the story. For example, knowing or doing something that is unlikely, compelling another character to do something, or creating sort of like a change like overturning a carriage or something like that I mentioned before. You do not need to use a resolve token to make changes that aren't really that significant to the story. So for example, to say what colour something is. So sometimes you'll need to enter into a negotiation with another player before you can spend a resolve token.
Mm-hmm.
And there's 3 situations in which this happens. Firstly, when you're compelling a character or connection to do something. Secondly, when you're harming the interests of a major character and connection. And thirdly, when you're interfering with the effects of another character's reputation condition. Say I want your commanding officer, who believes you're a threat, Anna, to find out that your family is in financial ruin.
In fact,
that would be a resolve token.
That would definitely take a resolve
it's significant
token.
to the story.
From
because it's
Anna
significant to
or
the
from
story.
your character?
From Anna, because this is Anna who's doing
Okay.
something.
Mhm.
So Anna is doing the finding out. But because this is harmful to Grace's interests, surprise, surprise.
Oh no, it's so bad for the thorns.
I now have to enter into a negotiation process with V. So I say to V, I would like Anna Croft to find out that your family is in financial ruin.
Uh-oh.
And V's got 3 choices. V can either accept the token.
Yes! I would love for that to happen.
Accept the token with conditions.
Yes, but only if Anna has been ordered to give me a promotion.
Or if it's really important and V really doesn't want that to happen, V can also refuse
To
this.
say no.
Just say no. And in that case, play goes on uninterrupted. Resolve tokens can be a little confusing at first, but when you start using them, you'll get the hang of them as we start playing.
Mm-hmm.
So towards the beginning of the night, your mother, Hilda, pulls you aside into one of these private rooms. I am going to spend one of Hilda's resolve tokens.
Yes.
I'm going to enter into negotiation with you, Sam, and see if you accept this. It's because Hilda's going to do something which is harmful to your interests. Grace's commanding officer, Captain
I'm going to add
Croft.
that to this.
The
Captain
dashing
Croft.
Captain Croft is going to be at this party. Hilda wants to set you up with Captain Croft, and Hilda believes that this is your last chance to prove that you can get on the straight and narrow. Otherwise, Mortimer's going to have to
Step up.
step up and take over.
And of course, as
responsibility
she's a
in that
military
way.
person, she would be, of course, a very respectable individual
Yeah,
to...
and be the
and
appropriate
reform
person
me.
to reform you.
Oh, wonderful. Yes, please. Yes,
So
that
you
sounds...
accept that?
I will absolutely
Alright,
accept
so
that.
that's for you. So
Oh.
Hilda, at first she's won over by the charm. She takes your hand, she looks into your eyes. You see her face melt with buttery warmth, and then it turns stony cold. Bernard, you are the eldest child in this family. You have a responsibility to carry on the family name, and yet you're getting, and I will be frank with you, a little over the hill.
And I kind of just pocket my neck down
To this party, I have invited one Captain Croft, a very respectable and admired military captain. I want you to dance with her. I want you to utilize all your charm on her, and I want you to move things towards wedding bells.
So I think that Jacob might have served as a military chaplain at some point, potentially with Grace, and may know some sort of compromising information, or have some very embarrassing sort of thing, or had some kind of...
Well, if you want to know something scandalous from Grace's past,
Yeah,
you can
so
offer me a result.
Is that right? So do I use that?
So you
Is
have
it
to...
from
Jacob.
I'm not sure if that's a
only
good resolve offer.
That is good.
Yeah.
But generally you'd say more directly what it is. So I
Yeah.
would like Jacob to have served in the military and know something compromising about
Right. That's that. So I say that. That's like, yeah. I think that Jacob knows something compromising about you and doesn't like the idea of you interacting with Thomas because Thomas is kind of his in. It's a bad connection. He doesn't like this start to his social life.
Okay, right. I've got one. Yes, but only if that information was that Grace was engaged to someone who, like, horrendous, who, like, broke off the engagement.
So
essentially, Jacob knows that, but not the identity of that person.
That's great. Can we go with that? Yeah. So I offer you
that.
this
Yeah,
resolve
so-
token. And so Jacob may not necessarily be using this right now as like information, but he does probably
knows
want
that,
like he doesn't want Thomas to be associating with you. And I think Jacob kind of like sees this exchange and he kind of like walks up and like puts an arm around Thomas and says, "Oh, weren't you meant to introduce me to your friend the Baron?"
Yeah.